Hi, and hello, and good afternoon. Welcome to another Sunday live chat. Hi, Karen. How are you doing?
I am good, girl. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. And let's get our special guest on. Hello, Tiffany. It's great to have you with us.
Hey, Gail. Hey, Karen.
Hey,
Today.
Hi.
so far
Great.
so good.
So, Karen, let's kick
Awesome.
it off. You can start.
Hey
Welcome,
guys,
everybody.
right. You already know who I am. Carrie here, your favorite virtual assistant. In today's live, we're gonna have Tiffany McKinney. She's a very special guest. Faith and Fuel: One Woman's Journey to Self-Discovery. Tiffany is a author. She's a chef. She's an ordained minister as well. And just to give you a little synopsis of who she is, but Tiffany, let the people know who you are. Let them know more about you. Introduce yourself to everybody watching.
Hello, everyone, with the Sunday chat. Again, my name is Tiffany, as they said. I think Karen kind of a author. Um, I am also she says a chef, as a self-taught chef. Let's say like that.
The
But
same girl.
who who um I do study a lot of different when it comes to food. But I do have a catering business called Heavenly Eats Catering. And me being an author, I have TLM books. That's underneath my umbrella. She's an ordained minister. I love it. I am there for First Love Outreach Ministry. Again, give it honor and glory to God, but also to Designate Jacqueline Breeden and our head pastor, Apostle Designate. He's now of Ecclesia Worship Ministries in Brooklyn, New York. So yes, I do have a lot of few. I'm a name, but that's who I am, and just the ordinary Tiffany that goes through life.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking,
Thank
accepting
you.
our invitation to be live with us today. And just, everybody is, I personally believe it's important people to hear your story. It's important because it's phenomenal and it says a lot about your character, how resilient you are, and your will, self-determination to be successful and overcome, an obstacle. Um,
hmm
so just give it a okay. So let's start it off. I know you like. I don't know if everybody know, but Tiffany for a few years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a few years.
Yeah,
I don't even know how long, but it's been a
for
few
more
years that
than
I
a
know
few years,
Tiffany.
little history in the
Yeah,
chat, and then
yeah,
found out a couple other things later on. Yeah.
yeah. So I know Tiffany for a while, and I believe your story is powerful because I know you did have bariatric surgery, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, amongst many other life obstacles. So when we started with that, what was the defining factor for you, right? What was the say for you? Okay, this is it. I'm tired of this is too much. I want a better life for myself. What was that decision thing that said to you, I want to do this. I'm going to do this.
Have surgery, have the bariatric surgery.
Right.
A lot, a lot of little things in life that happen. Married, and I was going through a difficult part. I was already 654 pounds
Mm-hmm.
um, at the time. At the time, and I think one of the pivotal moments to say, you know what, I need to have this surgery. Um, Again, my pastor, but she's more than my pastor. She is
Mm-hmm.
the big sister, Paulette Hotel. Okay.
Okay.
And I remember her being, you have in your life that um, you want to always tell you the honest and the hardest truth that you can deal with. Right. And I think that is important in your life. And I remember getting a phone call from her and, at a point where I just, I was at my lowest. And she said, listen, I love you with every part of my heart and my being, but I don't your coffin.
Mm-hmm.
And that literally resonated. Um, And I think that's why she's such an amazing pastor, because she is so transparent. Because that's how she teaches.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she said it to me, I was just like, "What? You telling me that this like it?" And I think it hit at that moment. It's like, this bed can really be a place that I will ever be able to live in, and that is not what I much more. So I started off by trying to be a part of the TV show My 600, and I got accepted after a year. I was accepted to My 600-Pound Life, and I'm not speaking any ill will of the TV show or what it is, because that's literally, it was what they required. I was not willing to give.
Okay.
And that's basically my values and my ethics. I was not willing to give them what they required. Find stuff that was so difficult. It was just the fact that I wanted my life to be on people that I love, life to be on display, and to be a part of the show. You see it, members and friends and things like that. But I didn't want my family or my friends in the world, because that was not their choice. That they didn't.
Right.
They didn't choose that. I did.
Right.
And so I got accepted. When they required some things, I was like, oh, I don't really want to bring this person in, but I have this person who's willing to do it. And they was like, no, we kind of need somebody that's a little bit closer. I didn't want to do that. And they came back to me the second year again and asked me and to put my family or, friends that are on the show. And I wouldn't do that to anybody. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with TL 100-Pound Life. It was just that certain requirements I was not willing to do.
Right.
That point, I had to find another way. At the time, I lived in Ohio, to be exact, and I called the bariatric facility.
Mm-hmm.
They had a requirement. Their requirement was you had to walk into the facility, consider you to have surgery. And I was just like, well, I'm bedridden.
Right.
And so they was like, unfortunately, there was nothing that we can do. At some point, it was just like, okay, if I can't walk, then what am I supposed to do? I remember this amazing prophet. She's still amazing. Prophetess spouse. She told me, she said, God is showing me around your living room. And I looked at her, I was like, nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Right. Right.
Like, nah, that ain't gonna really happen. Because I've been in this position for now. It had to be about, by this time, 5 years that I was bedridden. And I was like, oh, walking, I don't know. But because I just got tired.
Right.
When you get sick and tired, you do something. And so I was tired, and I got a physical. Miss Leah, love you.
Right.
She's still a part of my life. She's still a part of me. She was one of those therapists that she didn't take no.
she didn't take no. Okay.
She didn't take no crap, y'all. Let me tell y'all. Man, and I remember her saying, I'm willing to help you get to where you need to go.
Okay.
I can walk. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was disrespectful. But it was honest. And again, I have to be thankful. I had honest individuals that told me the truth. They didn't sugarcoat pretty. They told me what the truth is. And I still get the honesty from people. I still individuals. She was my pastor, Miss Leah, best friends. They still give me, and it hurts, but you're going to either take it and change, or you don't. And so for me, I think it was when my big sister was like, I don't want to see that bed. It was like, I got to make a change. And I did.
Right.
It was hard.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I think part of it, from what I hear you say, the support system is very important, and not just that. The people doesn't sugarcoat things, right? They tell you for what exactly it is, and I feel like sometimes because we care for someone, we don't want to so much. We want to tell them the truth, but we don't. We're not direct when we tell them the truth. We kind of walk around it, right? And sometimes in certain circumstances, I guess you have to be honest and be able to deliver the message. So, listen, this is reality. This is what it is. If you don't, if there's no change, this is the alternate. This, you
Mhm.
know, that's gonna happen. So, why do you say support system and being honest is goes hand in hand
It
um,
does.
with your process, with the process and the journey?
A big part. Not saying that I didn't suffer from depression through
Right,
anxiety.
right,
I went through big anxiety, like even the anxiety creep up because in a when you're bedridden, stable in one place.
right,
When I started moving around, going to the doctors outside, going to the hospitals, or just going different places, the crowds. Like I was scared like to visit
right,
because
right.
the so many people used to that, and my anxiety it flared up because I'm like, oh my god, all these because I was so alone for so many years.
Right,
And so that depression was major,
right,
and learning the signs and what happens. Like I didn't realize, and it was something. It's a lot. It's certain things that I. Let me say this: depression is real, and I don't want people,
yes,
and I want people to think that it's not very real sickness. And you know someone. Me personally, my depression, I will close the blind. I had this hoodie that I would put on, right? My God, my mom and my friends hated this hoodie. Okay, hated this hoodie. A size 6X, and even after I lost all the weight, I still had this hoodie. It was a year ago I gave that hoodie away to someone
Mhm.
in the street that needed it. But get back to what I was saying. Look for the signs. There are so many different signs that people around you because they can be in a position where they're depressed and you can be with them
right,
around 24/7 and don't realize that they are in a depression. It's real. And
right.
I think one of the major things was going to counseling, going to the therapist, and learning the signs. Turning off the lights, sitting in the dark for hours,
Wow.
having the mindset to want to sit in a corner and and just don't want nobody to see me. Like I wanted to shrink in a corner if I could.
Mhm.
So whoever's out there, and it's something that I continuously want to advocate, something to advocate for, to pay attention to. Yeah, it was a lot of different things in my life that I dealt with, and it's hard. It's a hard thing, but let's continue. Sorry, I drifted off. Sorry. So
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
No, no,
Right.
no.
That's
No,
okay.
no, it was a good answer. It was a good answer
Yeah.
because the thing about depression is you how would you know? Like if I'm suffering from depression, brave enough to say, "Okay, Tiffany, I'm not feeling it today. I'm feeling depressed." Like what does that really mean to the person hearing it?
Right.
Because and sometimes we jokingly say, "Oh man, this just happened. I'm so depressed." Versus,
Right.
I am depressed. It is hard. It is really hard to see or to understand what a person is going through mentally and emotionally, and then
Mm-hmm.
decide, oh my goodness, how am I going to step out? How am I going to step up and help that person?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. So, like for me, it would be yes, you had that person who was really honest, and I appreciated that. But like, did you actively do anything like to reach out to somebody to get support? Like saying, like I really, really need your support, or I just don't feel like doing anything today. Like, don't take my hoodie. I love my hoodie. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you manage that?
No, I I didn't. I told, I want to be transparent. Okay, let's
Right.
Yeah.
get comfortable.
Yeah.
I was not that person.
Mm-hmm.
The people had pulled things from me. It's still hard for me to tell my full truth to be exposed. I don't like to feel open to people, right? This show is me opening myself up to people, right?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to do. I do it because I know that there is a person that may be listening. So what I say to you is no, I don't. I didn't reach out. You doing? Oh, I'm okay. Knowing deep down, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about in Bible study today. How are you going to help others if you can't not that you're hurting?
Right.
When you hurting, how do you it's not it? Because you're so embarrassed to tell somebody this hurts me.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pick up the pieces and I'm crying because I don't know how to pick up the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
God, what am I not miss? What did I
Mm-hmm.
miss that I can't hear you? Stop.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hard to tell people when you're hurting
Yeah.
what their reaction is going to be. You don't know how they're going to respond. Do they really care
Mm-hmm.
someone to help you? Do they care and go to God and pray for you?
Mm-hmm.
People could say, I'm praying for you and mean God.
Mm-hmm.
So it is hard for me to say that I'm hurting. It's always hard to say, I don't get that. I wear a ton of hats. But I sometimes most likely hats. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to do. And then people fail to forget that you were human.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You fail to forget. Say, it's okay, Tiffany, that you didn't get that today. It's okay that you fell short today. Don't stay in that place. And that's the one thing I love about my overseer. She tells all the time, you can home, cry,
Mm-hmm.
scream, yell, whatever. But no, so it's hard. Gail is very hard for help.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know. I'm still asking that hard. That's a hard question. Say I need help. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a lie, woman. Let's just put it all out there. You cannot wear the S on your chest all the time. S wasn't made for
Mm-hmm.
you. You ain't dying across for nobody. You who told you that you had to be the superwoman in this person's life?
Right.
Who told you you had? That's what you told yourself, so that you can avoid. I'm speaking about myself. So whoever's listening about you, I'm talking about Tiffany.
Right.
I felt that to do to help so that people can accept Tiffany. People don't have to accept me. God
Right.
has to accept me. He has to accept who I am. But then you have to accept yourself.
Right.
You have to say
Right.
enough to say that. I'm learning what no means now.
Right.
Oh no, I can't do that today. That's hard for me. It's hard for me to tell people no. Because I always been intentions, but it may not be your job to do that. God's toes.
Right.
So that's my transparency. That's something I'm dealing with. How to say no. Am I no? And stop thinking that it's hard. It's stop saying that you can't ask for help. Because if you need help, say it.
Yeah, I think that's two very valuable things because a lot of people, a lot of us actually are like that. We don't ask for help, and we be drowning in sorrow and in mental space problems and thoughts. And sometimes we don't ask for help because one, I think, one, like you said, it's embarrassing, right? Or two, you feel guilty because you already are, whatever that circumstance or whatever that feeling is, you're already feeling it. And then you also feel guilty to pour that onto somebody else, or you feel like you're pouring that issue to someone else. So
Mm-hmm.
I think, what can I say? Asking for help is very crucial in helping a person or helping an individual seek help, or at least somebody gives sending you a lifeline so they can help you, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay to ask for help. And that's good. That's real. That's real,
It's
Tiffany.
how, but then the question is, people are like, well, how do I ask for help? I don't I don't know how to do that. So what you want me to do? What does that mean?
Right.
I'm a researcher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so funny. It's so funny because Gail, you gave the title "The One Woman's Journey: Faith and Fuel," and I had a simplicity for Faith and Fuel, a little bit more research
Mm-hmm.
on faith, um, because made me say I need help, and my help comes from, right, and that's where the heart comes from me, right? Because I can go to anybody to get help. You trust the person enough, so trust is a big factor too. It's a
Right.
lot of different to this, to asking for help and trusting what you get.
Yeah.
That's where
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
have to find out where you at right now in life, and then see how to go. We'll go back to um my relationship with God and with people. You have to learn how to define and tell yourself the truth. That's a hard
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I have another question that came out from something you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my normal life, I am a corporate training facilitator, and I have seen people, especially those in customer service roles, like in retail, they will see somebody come up to them who is, really large, and you can see it on their face. There's the judgment.
Mm-hmm.
There's the, why doesn't this person do better? Why don't they exercise? Why don't they eat right? Because on the flip side, the person could be on medication, it could be an
Mm-hmm.
illness. There's so many reasons. And when I started to do the research myself, I realized that there are people who are not, they have no choice. They have no choice. You could be on insulin for some reason, and that's why you're bigger than normal. But for me, is the judgment. And you get on a plane, for example, and you see this person trying to sit in a seat, or you see them trying to go up the steps, and nobody tries to help. Everybody's like, they can really move a little faster. Where are they on my flight, or why are they sitting next to me and taking up three seats? It's so judgmental
Mm-hmm.
usually. And my question is, do you think that we should include some kind of sensitization training as part of your work life or your career life that covers empathy? Because everybody's not born with empathy. Empathy is not a natural thing if you haven't been exposed to it. But the world is made up of so many different kinds of people. I think, based on what you're saying, so that was my question. Do you think that if people were trained, sensitized, literally, to other conditions and other people, if that would have made life a little easier for you in terms of a little understanding, a little empathy, a little more willing to support, rather than, oh well, that's her, however she manages, what do you feel how did
Um,
you feel about that as you were going through it?
I'm glad that you mentioned that. And something you said that I mentioned lives, was people automatically think because you're overweight is because that is the number one thing for everyone. Oh, she's that big, or he all they do is eat, right?
Right.
Correct.
But the
Right.
funny thing is, right, in my situation, um, one, when I was bedridden. So when I first got into Ohio, I was being bedridden. I gained 200. Okay, Prior to me being that, a lot of, I personally, me, I, eater. I was a stress eater. Okay. When things bother me, yes, food did, did what's the word I'm looking for? That place, but then also being sick and bedridden got me even further. So what I don't know what somebody's situation is. There is a disease called lymphedema, which is a fat disease, something that I do suffer from. Not as severely as other people, but basically what it is, it's the body, normally on women, it's the bottom half of their larger than the top half.
Mm-hmm.
Their leg be 10 times bigger, right? And so they have all these different studies and the research surgeries to remove the fat. But then it can happen again, right? So there are diseases and there are medications that allow you to, that puts weight on you. So that
Right.
eating.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thank you for mentioning that, Gail, because they're hard for a lot of people to grasp mentally. Do I think that there's training on how to deal with plus size individuals? Well, before we can get to that training program to help plus size individuals, there are lack of care to help with obesity, right?
Right.
There are lack of to help with people with obesity. There's a lot of lack of people with obesity because, like I said, it may not just be from food. What you do is, I don't know if training someone to have empathy on how to deal with the food, because first they have to understand who they are. Because if you
Right.
this person is as quote unquote fat because they eat within you, because they could be so many other things that's going on, and you won't even allow your mind, all it is eating.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how can I get someone? I don't know if I can. I can't change people. I've learned
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
How people
Yeah.
think, or how they should be able to treat others, because treat others as you want to be treated.
Yeah,
But
It is
sometimes
true, but I still
people
think
don't
that
get.
if you're
that's
working,
true.
if you're working for me, I'm gonna tell you where I need you to draw the line. So you're working for me, and you see that six X person comes in, this is how you deal with them. And if you don't, we'll be having a conversation because homie don't play those games. So if you don't
Right.
know, I'm gonna help you know. But I just think it's important. And sometimes we assume that people know better. And I have learned a lot of people do not know
Yeah,
better.
you
They
can't
just
Yeah.
do
assume,
not
because
know. They just
common
do
sense.
not know.
I don't know. I think if you own a business, if my thing is that I want to make sure that everyone, no matter how small, if they're if they have a disformation, I've had all different walks of life, people that I know who has all different types of form, they still have to see past all of that, right? I think that that's the problem. Get themselves first and be like, oh, I got an issue.
Hmm.
Come to me with my issues. I don't want. They don't. People don't have that first mindset. They just instantly want. That's the kind of society that we live in. So I don't know how we can help. Now, this is should
Yeah, I agree.
have more stricter rules, catering a little bit to plus sizes, like airline example. I only fly Southwest because of their plus size policy, right?
Hmm.
Where with mission, I love Southwest because when they got cheap flights and they catered to my big behind, right?
Right.
But other like airlines, they want you to pay for 2 seats, which may not. Does not.
Hmm.
You can. There's a little bit more leniency with them. They have more. Plus, some Southwest flight attendants are plus size.
Mhm.
But ironically, they have to have a certain weight goal, but they can go up to a size 2. That's as far as they go in their uniform, so you can only go up to that extent. Because you're letting me know it's okay to put a plus size person in the thank you.
Yeah.
You're not ashamed of something.
Yeah.
And I love that about that. And there's some companies that do cater. I've been to restaurants, I'll be like, oh, can I have a table? They be like, oh, girl, don't worry about it. I pull the table, I pull the booth out for you. I love that brand to me, but you have to also, when you're plus size, be honest about who you are. I take chairs to make sure I can sit on them so they won't fall underneath me.
Yeah.
I do that with
Yeah.
beds, but that's because I know who I am. And I think, and as when it comes to plus size, now issues with thinking I'm still a size 7X, 6X that are large, but that's something that I'm working on. But as for businesses, I think that I don't think that they have a training, but have something in place
Excuse me.
help with the plus size. Because but there are a lot of, I will say this, there are a lot that are out that help with like certain things, like travel and stuff like that. Travel as a plus size person and where you can go and how they and who caters to you, Gail. For those who ever want to know, especially on Facebook, I know there's flying. It's not my thing. It's called Flying While Fat.
Oh.
That's the name of the group. Talk about different airlines and what seats and what aircrafts will work for plus size people. I know it was like jet skis and like that you could do. Like there was this one young lady who her husband wanted to go into something and she wanted to look over the mountains, but it was like a flying like the smaller planes. And so she gave us exactly what company that £100, and she was 200. And so like each plane has a certain weight capacity. There's different things out there for you to look. You just have to look a little bit research. But I do agree that, but something put forth for us to know how to treat people of different disabilities and things like that. Because it doesn't have a spectrum of it all.
No, I agree with you, Tiffany, because there is biases and stigmas and prejudice, some form of prejudice against a person that's a certain weight class, when it comes to weight. There is that, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes they seem to be more harder on the women being a certain weight than they are for men, and that's just what some people are. That's just how society. It shouldn't be like that, but they do that. They do have prejudice against weight. And it's, for example, Lizzo. Lizzo is one of just, she's a singer, but she's very confident in her weight. But they still give her so much bad comments, and every time she's happy to express of her weight and not seem shameful, somebody always have something negative to say about her weight. But then we also speak on the topic of love yourself. But if you're gonna accept someone, and we all know how to be in a certain way is not healthy. Let's be realistic, right? But what about allowing a person to love themselves while working through that journey instead of tearing them down? That should be something that I think as a country, as a nation, we tend to be very prejudiced when it comes to weight. When it comes to people's individual weight. But I want to ask you, so what would be two things that you would say? Is somebody's thinking of having bariatric surgery or thinking about it? What would be two advice that you would give them that maybe you experienced, that maybe doctors give you pre-ops, they go through the assessment process, the consultation, they'll tell you the pain point, they'll tell you the post-op, the pre-op, but the in-betweens they don't really tell you, right? What would be two advice you would give someone who's thinking about doing surgery?
Okay, Tiffany, why are you smiling, Tiffany?
She trying to me on the spot.
No, I wasn't trying to do that.
A lot of stuff about when it in between stuff that the doctors don't really tell you.
Right.
I think the one major free phenomenal crown that comes to our group is know why you're doing it.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Having surgery. Don't have surgery for somebody else.
Because,
honey, he ain't gonna love you. If he ain't love you when you was big, he ain't gonna love you when you small. Just put it out there, okay?
Are you sure, Tiffany? Are you sure?
I'm very okay. If he didn't love you, he met you. Let me tell you something. If he met you that way, honey, and he met you that way, that means after you lose that weight, baby, even then. So don't do it because of him.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because, honey, I'm gonna need you to spot whatever. That's just what it is. So know why you're doing it. You want to. My thing was, I wanted to wear a pair of heels, honey. I need to wear some, like, I wanted to wear jeans, heels, all of that. I may not wear heels. Okay, I'm wearing jeans today from Walmart, and I'm very happy about that. Okay, ain't the ones that you just slide up with the elastic around. No, I can buckle these up with a zipper, honey. This is so wide. Okay, yeah, I'm happy about that. But no, know why doing the surgery, and do the surgery for you and for no one else. If you, unless you're doing it for it to be better. I know some women who have 4 or 5 kids, and it's like I can't see them because I can't hardly breathe. I need to be able to do something about it one day. So have a reason and know your goal. That's the first thing. That will be my second tip. Research as much as people who've had this surgery. Go to classes. Do as much research as possible, because I think I've had phenomenal crowns for 2 years. I've had the surgery 2 years ago. Last 2.5 years from the multiple surgeries that I've had. Everyone is different, and there's so many different outcomes. Prime example with me personally, and is one of my team members with the group as well. Hers is a little bit worse than mine, but I go through this when the seasons change. Okay, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that your body gonna go through some things, but they don't go specifically. So, prime example, like for instance, I can't stand the smell of them right now. If you make them a certain kind of way, I'm not. Don't bring it to me, because I'm instantaneously like, chicken is something that's sometimes hard for me to digest. I can do chicken, but they say red meat is not good for you, right? So it's trying to do certain things, certain meats, and the thing with like certain meats is that you can it take the sauces and things like that. It's hard for lean meats to do that. So my body goes throughout the seasons and stuff like that. If I make chicken today, I can't eat the leftovers. So I have to cook a different meat tomorrow so I can have that, but then I can go back and eat. So it's kind of difficult for me when it comes to certain things. These last 2 years, it's like that with many of the women. Their eating is totally in spurts where they don't want to eat it all. We don't want to have nothing in our system. Got out of the surgery, I'm gonna say for the first 6 months, I didn't want food because I was trying to get to a smaller body. That wasn't the case. I did not want to eat. Didn't have no taste. Don't taste good. They was trying to get me to do protein. It means that my body was going through on top of depression.
Right.
Everybody, do your research, because they don't tell you. They tell you,
Yeah.
oh, some mental changes, but you really go through. I tell everybody the truth. You're going to go through some mental changes.
Mm-hmm.
Here, that's a you can't be prepared because everyone is different.
Right.
But everybody goes through these different changes. Understand. So know why you're doing it and do your research. And I'm a big believer, do not do the surgery out of the United States. So whoever's watching this, please, if you can, and I'm not, for those who did it, I know some women in my group and had this surgery and it's doing well. But there is many of the women that I treat and have the most hardest complications. And the problem is that the United States doctors do not want to work on you because something else goes wrong because they went behind someone out of the country.
Wow.
So if you're hearing me, please
Wow.
wait, do the surgery in the United States so that at the United States doctor where you live. So
Right.
that would be my two major tips.
Okay. That's some good tips. So pretty much don't know why you're doing it and do your research. I think that's two very good tips. But also, very good. I want to switch gears a little bit. I know you were an author because I did my book and it was lovely, Charlie, because I got it right here. It's called The True Love When Your Heart Finds the Truth. Okay, what was the inspiration about? This book was good. I read it, like it was a quick read, but I read it. I didn't put it down. So let's talk about it. What was the inspiration about this book and just writing? What things that inspire you to write? Because I know you have other projects coming out on or release other projects. So what's the inspiration behind the author, the writing?
As a child, I always loved to write. I love writing music. Okay. I love writing. It was really major for me. That book started out of, because it is a series. It came out of creating a reality because I couldn't walk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that story came out of. Actually, the first two parts of the series came out of me being what I've learned is when I was bedridden, but people always left, right? And so I was always stuck in the living room, and I would pray to God, and I would do my worship and my praise, but that wasn't enough for me. I didn't have, so I created one. Books, through writing. I just short stories. It was just short stories. Just the characters and what they were about and stuff. And then I find myself putting certainly into these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember because of somebody that came to me was like, girl, you can write. You need to publish that. And I was like, hey, what are you talking about? Even though I literally in high school, a program that I was a part of in high school, but I was like, I'm gonna buy this book and for real, you need to, and so I talked to a few other people and told them the gist of the story, and they bought their books. So that's where True Love came from. Finding True Heart. It's out on Amazon right now, and the series continues. It's just it was a way to have a life. Everybody has a life once they go leave church and not with their family. They do things that make them do those things. I can't go out to the mall or to the movies or bowling like everybody else. Make me happy, and writing was one of those things. And I created this whole, and that's where True Love came from.
Oh my God, with the book. I mean, listen, when I read it, it was amazing. I enjoyed it. I didn't put it down. I read it the same day, and I know part 2 should be on the way, right?
Well,
no pressure, Tiffany. No pressure.
Let me say this, and I'm going to announce this and I was going to wait. Unfortunately, things happen where, so I was going to wait till today. But part two is purchase it on Amazon right now.
What? Yes. Good.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can go to Amazon.
Okay.
Part now. I'm just going to put it out there because Karen was one to text me and called me and told me that they was waiting anxiously for part two. This is a love series. It's a 3-part love series, everyone. So everyone that's watching, the first of this, no one knew this. So I told my team, I'm going to let everyone know that they mentioned the book, but I'm letting you know you can now go to Amazon and purchase the second, The Loving Heart. And you can go now on Amazon. It's right now on Amazon. And if I know Karen, she's probably Googling it right now.
Yeah, she is. She is, Tiffany. You know her very well. You know her very well. She's Googling it.
Oh
Yes.
my God. How you know? Get out of my head.
Amazon for you to purchase the book. The Kindle version is not going to be released until November 25th. That to actually release it on November 25th, Black Friday. But the Amazon, my Lord and Savior, they had a whole different plan for the hardcover book. So the hardcover book is the Kindle won't be out until November 25th. And if you want an author's copy, you can go ahead at the email address that I gave you guys, Tiffany McKinney Industries.
Yes.
I'm more than happy to send you out an autographed copy. I think my team had the prices. I apologize because once they talked to me about it, I don't know nothing else. So I don't what is it, Karen? Because I know you looked it up. I think it's like 18, something like that. I don't know. But yeah.
Listen.
So it's out there. But just part series. So please, if you bought the first book, and I'm gonna tell you this, you have to buy the first book. Buy the second book, because if you get the last part of the series, which I am working on as we speak, the series, I promise you're not going to understand the last book in first two.
Right. Yeah. You gotta start from number 1. Yeah, that's true.
You have to read the first of, and then The Loving Heart is all new characters. So I'm just giving y'all don't it's not. But that third part is you're gonna be like, don't wait for me to put out the third part of this book, and then y'all go buy the third one and be like, I don't, because you ain't read 1 and 2.
Right.
You got to get 1 and 2, and right. I'm not saying it because I want you. I'm saying it because
I'm saying it because I want you to buy it.
I'm saying it because in order for you to get this third part and really be engrossed to be able and to get all 3 parts, and not only that, each book has you're gonna find parts near about depression. You're gonna find parts about love. I truly love. You're gonna find parts of, and I don't. You're gonna find different parts of Tiffany, and as Karen said, when you read it, you're gonna see that she tried to be the superwoman, and I mentioned that here, so it makes sense, right, Karen?
Yeah, it does. It really do.
I thought I was a superwoman, and so you have me all the way in them, and I created. I know that someone told me I need to know. Someone told me I need to probably go and write up to Tyler Perry. I don't know what.
Girl, Tyler Perry, you know social media works on you. Tyler Perry. TikTok and social media works, so let's not sleep on that.
Listen, let me say, because working with the church, right? And I'm going to say this, working with my overseer, and they push me to limits. And it's so funny because, every year we have Holy Gathering, things bigger and better, like God. And so my apostle definitely, and it's so funny because when he does things, he tells me to do things, and I'll be like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do how this supposed to work. Literally, right? It's like, even with my pastor, like and I'm gonna say my sister, I love her, so much great different businesses and stuff like that. And so she sells different things. Girl, you got this. And she'd be like, you always pushing somebody. What about pushing yourself? Like, you know, especially
You
everyone
got a good circle.
else.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
like
I
you have
have
a
an
very
amazing.
yeah, like I feel like we all need that circle is gonna push you. Like, hey girl, you could do better. You know, I know you could. You know,
Yeah, I have an amazing. I have.
it's like you have a
And it's
very
so funny
amazing
because
circle.
yeah, every one of them have businesses, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because someone told me, mentor. Y'all know her, follow her. Her name is Tina Booker. She has an amazing. I told you, she has an amazing program that I actually was a part of, and she don't play. She give it to you what it is. So I do a lot of shout outs to people because this is how it got me so strong. Because I got these strong folks
Right.
all up around here that don't play this hairstyle, honey. My sister did it. I'm with her hands off the chain. You right?
Okay.
I was like, girl, you can do some things, you know. But I feel I'm around that are amazing at what they do, and you either gonna surround yourself with people to be better, or you're gonna try to bring people down. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned, even people tell me, like I have a girl that lives houses, like I love it. She tells me all the time, she's like, girl, you know why? You will leave a state and move someplace you don't even know and just start over and make in that area. And I'm just like, girl, I got to go, you know.
No, that's true. You ever have a conversation about that? She would jump up and move to a whole no nobody over there and just up and leave. I'm like, well, damn, I'm here. I still can't do it, honey. And I think I'm playing 4 states.
Jersey, I moved to Jersey without knowing nobody. I didn't know. I just had one family member out there. I moved out here to North Carolina. Just have you do things, but you move as God, and God will open up doors. And that's what I'm telling you. I'll always guide it together because I don't, and I have some hard times, and I tell Karen all the time. I try to think because I love Jesus and I love God that I don't struggle. I don't have my moments. I'm still human.
Right.
Still human. I don't want people, and my God ain't crazy. If I don't think that's because of him, that ain't him. I'm gonna put that out there too. If I'm doing something stupid and crazy, that ain't the elder, that ain't the pastor.
You still human, right?
And that's the truth. And I want people to understand that. So that's major. But yeah, it's a good thing. Y'all can go ahead and go get it. I'm excited.
We're excited too, but I wanted to find out, do you think that a bonus point for anybody joining us today would be journaling? Did you think writing helped you a lot? Because you didn't say it, but I'm watching you and I'm hearing, you wrote your book and stuff like that, and you didn't, you couldn't get out and you couldn't walk. And I think that writing is very cathartic.
Yeah.
How many journals do you have, Tiffany? How many journals?
It's therapeutic, right? It's therapeutic. I tell you. Oh,
yeah, I figured so. Yes, so is that a great tip? I think people should consider journaling and getting it all out. Don't keep it inside. Write it down. Even if you don't share it with anybody, at least that process of writing it down. So talk to me, Tiffany. What do you think? Is that a good tip?
Yes, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, right? Am I right, Gail?
Yes. It says, write it on the scroll and let people see it. Sorry, that's my précis version of it. Not am I not correct? Write it on a tablet and let them see it, Tiffany. Can you find it?
Right either. Don't explain. So this is what I'm gonna tell anybody. Journaling is super important. If y'all can see, I'm literally in my Bible trying to find something that I wrote. Super important because it allows you to see exactly what it is. I keep a notepad near my my bedstand and a pen. I'm writing stuff out. I have different in certain things. If I was to walk you around my room, you would see like just this morning wall. I'm good for tapping things to my wall as a reminder to soak out whatever it is. You may think it's stupid, but God may be giving you something that you need to work on. So really get yourself a book. I don't care. I don't care how write it. It may come to you and you be like, oh, that's dope. Write it. To get even if you're a person that does not know how to verbalize, every time you open your mouth, it comes out wrong. Write it on paper. Go back to it, and it's going to become clearer. I'm going to say this, and thank you, Gail, for that. I challenge everyone to go get a notebook, go to 99-cent store, get a book and a pencil. I choose to write everything and anything that you cannot speak out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever it is, I don't care. If you happy, write it. If you at peace, write it. And go back. And when you do it, date it. I'm good for dating stuff. I'm about I don't care what the topic is, who I was with, and then write. Go back after the third, whatever. Go back to it, and then see if how you evolve in that 30 days, that 6 months,
Right.
that 9 months. Okay, because when you write things out and you get it off your chest, you move forward with things. Okay, that is your time, and it's okay to cry. That is a cleansing thing, and I'm always going back to my overseer because she teaches us that God reads our tears. Your job, because you may not be able to verbalize this with the verbalization. Write it out, get it out of you, and then look at yourself later on and be like, oh, I don't do that no more.
Right.
That is important. Not only that, I also trick I did at one point, and it's so funny. There was a box. This one, I forgot her name. YouTuber. His wife did this though. What's the guy? He a funeral director. He King Batch. His name, I think it is his name. His wife had did this is what she did. This is how she found her husband. I ain't telling you I do this. I didn't say this. This is what she said. She took a box and she wrote out her prayers. She would fold them out. She'd drop them in the box. And then as time goes on, she goes back in that box that she dropped in that box has come to pass. She take it out the box and she puts it in the completed box. And then at the end of the year, she reads all these prayers and things she did in her completed box and look how moved in her life. It's like journaling. It's, I think, to journal in life because life is so difficult. Life has so many different obstacles and changes through the way what you have to do. So yes, Gail, I am a big believer in journaling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a word.
So we got 2 points and a bonus. We got 2 tips and a bonus tip, Karen. We got make the right decision.
Yeah.
Know why you're doing it.
No, that's a word.
Do your research and journal. And I think listening to you, Tiffany, and your journey, I would say if you were giving me that advice about, know my why for why I'm making that decision, like you said, make the right decision. For me, it would be because it's so hard. It is so hard to try to make the right decision when you're influenced by so many people on the outside and you are kind of unconsciously tied to societal norms, which is I need to be skinny, I need to be beautiful, Is that the real reason I want this surgery? That I need to look like how I think he wants me to look. And in my mind, I'm internalizing that and I'm making that the right decision. If you see what I mean. But that's not the decision for me. That's not answering the question, what do I really want? What is the result I want from this surgery? I am translating what society is telling me into making that my decision. So I'm just saying it was interesting to hear you say that because somehow, you need to find a way to make it about you, to turn it back to you. And do I want to be beautiful and skinny because that's what I want? Or is that because what society says I should want for myself? So it's so much thinking. I could see why it will be tough and why people could get overwhelmed and even depressed from having that all through in the middle of what you're through. I'm sure it can't be. It just can't be easy, actually.
It's
Mhm.
it's it's a hard decision,
Hmm.
to make because you're making a decision to go underneath the knife, right?
Yes. Hmm.
That's major, and then to wake up and, now you can barely eat nothing as big as that, right? That's all you can fill up. Um, and then and not only that, before you even gonna get on the 25% of your body mass,
Hmm.
that's a requirement. Women now that are still struggling just to try to get to that 25%.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think just knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Is it important for you to do what you're doing? And then what am I trying to impress?
Right.
Hmm.
Again, my purpose was live. They told me I would never walk. They told me I would never be able to stand up. Almost told that I, I will have the hardest time. I will always have to be with a wheelchair or a walker. I was told, well, listen, Karen, you're contesting. And even in that, when they told me that, I was like, I don't think so. And so it it was a hard road, and I'm thankful for the two of you because you're making me realize I really need to be, because sometimes we forget once we come out of a situation, how far you've come.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Even though people like this, you might like my hero, and I'd be like, oh no, don't say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But don't say that. That's why. But no, I mean
Yeah.
honestly, just to sit there and say, why are you doing this? Are you doing this
Hmm.
because you want to do this? And don't lose the weight and then get all cocky.
Right. And I think the mindset
Yes.
too, Tiffany. The fact that you
I know
mentioned, they tell you.
women that did it.
I know some women that did the surgery, and then but they still was not probably eating the right food. And then everybody forget the stomach has the ability to remember. It has to remember everything. It can only remember back to what it used to. So you always have to.
Hmm.
I mean, I know a few people that did it, and then they were back and they came back with double because they was not eating the proper food. They didn't follow the pre-op suggestion from
Yeah.
the doctor. They didn't change their
Hmm.
lifestyle. Their mindset. It's one thing I think about it too. For those people that I know, it was for vanity reasons, right? And we do it based on vanity.
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong with we all vanity some form, from some fashion. But the mindset should be for health, right? And for just to have a better lifespan for yourself. But I think
It
the
it,
mindset,
it
which you said, the mindset.
it's super important, your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
No, because you still have to be humble. Like I'm still now at 370, but I'm still thankful because I came right, and that's a lot. And and I had not only the weight loss surgery, I had the first part of my plastic surgery, which was because I have skin diseases, and so I'm still have like my legs are super, and and for one leg is 2 surgeries. That's a mindset. And they wanted to go back to back with me. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know if I can do back to back. But it's are you ready? Because you keep going. I keep going underneath the knife. I keep going underneath the knife. I keep going underneath. That's a lot, you know. And so it's important that, you know, I drink the water. I gotta, you know, and then and not only that, and let me say this. What Karen said about people go back to their weight. You can go and eat after you have the surgery, right? But be mindful. And the doctor say that. Be mindful of hold the cake again because you want to stretch out your belly. Okay? Waste of time. But slice of cake, you keep it pushing. But eat the fruits, eat the vegetables. Be mindful. And then you know you're gonna go through dumping, but don't go through the dumping and start. You don't want to do that. Just remember and just be mindful. And then you have to heal from whatever it is that pushed you. That's big.
Yeah, you still have to give
That
yourself
is
time.
big. You know, and that's something that, you know, I had to heal from certain things. Like, okay, food. I like going to the gym. I ain't been in the gym in a while, but I like going to the gym. Now, if I can get through that very first day of doing gym work, I'm competitive. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta hit these weights. I gotta get on this treadmill. I like the gym now. I didn't like it before. You could get on a treadmill. I wish you would. But I'm competitive. You know? So it is, again, there's moments where, like last night, driving home, I'll be like, oh God, they told me I would never do this.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
and I think you have to remind yourself and not
definitely.
take how far you've come for granted. You always got to remember how far you've come and on whose shoulders you stand as well.
Yes, yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. You know what? Even as you heard that this live today, right? Or even on the transition, all the decisions you made, and all that, you still it was. I mean, God was the privilege, right? You did it with the choice, but God was the one behind you. Your faith, and you believe, just so you know you was able to do it. You could do it, and regardless of what anybody said, if the doctor says one thing, you chose a different path for yourself, right? The doctor said you can walk, the doctor said you can drive, but look at you there. You know what I'm saying? So that was itself speaks a lot. You have to for yourself. Even if the doctor says you won't, guess what? God says something different. And if you
I agree.
do it, you definitely do it. I mean, I just feel so about anybody out there. I think you, you definitely could do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's good.
Listen, I could be going.
I agree.
Okay, honey. So
yeah, Karen. We could be here all day, ladies, but we cannot be here all day.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's an excellent conversation.
So,
but unfortunately, we're going to have to close it out.
yes, last word.
Yes, Karen.
Can they reach you?
Oh, wow. Last words. Okay. Reach at Tiffany McKinney Industries at gmail.com for again autographed book. Also, you can find me on TikTok. I think it's at Phenomenal. Find me on Facebook at Tiffany McKinney. Yeah. Instagram is TL McKinney83. I'm trying to remember all of these tags.
I have it. I'm going to put it up for you.
I'm
going to put it up for you.
Also, I want to, because I talked about God a lot, I want to interview for a church home. So First Love Outreach Ministries. You can inbox places so that you can get involved because we do prayers Tuesday. We also have our Bible studies every Sunday at 12 o'clock. Today, so I'm happy I was able to still join Bible study today and come over here. And then we also services, but everything is done on Zoom. So it don't matter where you're located at. Okay? Where you're located at.
Mhm.
If you need a place where you just need to hear a good word, come to First Love Outreach Ministries. And again, you can reach me at any of those.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then Phenomenal Crowns, that, oh my God. So Phenomenal Crowns, you can reach us on Facebook under construction, because I am working hard to really rebuild some things. And another thing I'm so happy about, my team and I had a meeting this past week, and we have new idea will be coming out for you and everyone on Phenomenal Crown. So if you're watching this, look out. We're excited for all the new stuff that has come forth and that we're getting ready for. And again, women. So if you watching this, y'all keep coming back and listen to Sunday Chat, because you're gonna get some great hearing. But also, there are amazing other women that's in my group that I actually, and that I want you guys to come out and check out, because we have different things in life we like to do, right? So I'm in two different fields that can help you get there. So y'all come back and look at all that. That's how you.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Thanks,
listen, I enjoyed it today. The conversation was great. I hope everybody watching it took some great takeaways from today. Tiffany's journey, Tiffany's lessons, and the tips. Okay, if this is you when someone's thinking about doing a bariatric surgery, okay, consider it. And remember, while you're doing it, research and journal. Okay, and that's it.
yes, in a nutshell. yes. Okay, thanks, ladies, and we'll be back next Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.